Running does make your feet tighter. And if you never work to undo that tightness, then your feet will always limit you, because the tighter that you get through the foot, the slower, stiffer, and more painful your running stride becomes, because you can't extend out of it. And eventually it forces most runners to stop running completely because it's just too uncomfortable. That's why in the final 8 weeks of targets, our goal is to build up to 12 reps with 50% of our body weight loaded in the Peterson step up, because we're strengthening out of a full stretch through the foot. And that foot position that we're getting strong out of at the bottom of our Peterson step ups is the same foot position that we're getting strong out of when running. But you don't have to wait to start making progress. Anyone can start undoing the tightness at the bottom of their feet inside the first 8 weeks of Unlock with our foot stretch. 2 sets of a 60-second hold in this foot stretch every Wednesday mobility session. That's how you start undoing the tightness and rebuilding the length in your foot. And if you actively push your toes into the ground, then you're also gaining strength through that position, which is super important as our step one, because if you don't have the mobility through the foot, then when you're pushing off when you run, you can't use your foot, which means you're taking more damage through the rest of your body instead. And if you never undo that tightness through your foot, then you're limiting how strong your foot can get in the long term as well, because flexibility is what builds strength faster. So if you never build it, then you're just going to end up being slower and weaker when you run, which holds back how long you can run deeper into your life. Then after we undo that tightness in the first 8 weeks of Unlock, we move into the next 8 weeks of Rebuild, where we're starting to build up our hack squats to strengthen our foot out of that fully stretched position. The weight stays behind my back, so the load stays on my knees and my feet where I want it, because we need that for running. Then, as I lower, my heels come off of the ground, requiring stabilization from the feet, which means I'm getting stronger. Then in this bottom position, we're strengthening out of that stretched position that we built into through the program in Unlock. And I first learned this exercise from George Hackenschmidt, who used them to be able to run late into his 80s without any pain, proving that if you train the right areas and build the right strength with the right progressions, then this doesn't just help you run short term, it helps you run long term, late into your life without getting injured. And since I personally have the exact same goal of being able to run late into my life, then I'm gonna keep building these as I rotate through the program, from Unlock to Rebuild to Targets for the rest of my life, because I wanna be living proof of the system just like how George Hackenschmidt was as well. So in Rebuild, we're spending time week by week getting stronger in our foot with these hack squats, which then prepares us for the final 8 weeks of Targets, where we start to build up the Peterson step ups, lifting the heel, controlling on the way down, activating the foot, extending up, then returning the heel to the ground. Our target in this phase is to build up the 12 reps to 50% of our body weight loaded with 6 inches of elevation under our foot, which any runner can build up to, as we've seen, going from Unlock to Rebuild to Targets. The why behind training this is simple. That active foot position and active knee position together that we get from the Peterson step up is the exact same foot position and knee position we need to be able to do our running stride. And through this entire process, we're also building up our calf strength through a full stretch, extending through the foot, along with strengthening our tibialis raises for the shin muscle, because it wraps all the way down to the inside of our foot. So getting strong here fixes the top of foot as well, so that in your route to recovery, we leave no weak links behind, because having any missing links in your foot and ankle will prevent you from having long-term recovery. Your feet don't have to hold you back, and they can become one of your greatest strengths if you rebuild them the right way, progressing from Unlock to Rebuild, then to Targets, always training at a pain-free level and getting your form coached along the way.